Hey, my name is Keith Groover, and today we're going to talk about vibrato. And we're going to actually talk about two different kinds of vibrato. Vibrato using pitch and vibrato using tone. So I'm going to switch over to my synthesizer on my desktop real quick. So first thing you're going to notice is down in the left-hand corner, I've got the pitch bend level set all the way up, which is 24. Now on the glide, your default pitch bend range is 48. So we'll actually need to change this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your thumbstick on your traffic light controller, you're going to push the thumbstick to the right, and then you're going to click the function button on the coffin. You're going to click that once, that sets the pitch bend to 0. Click it again, that sets it to 12. Click it again, that sets it to 24. And now whenever you play a note, you should be able to do vibrato pretty well. Or if you play a note and then hit the thumbstick button, you should be able to move around to different notes. Okay, so that's setting the pitch bend range correctly. All right, now we're going to customize vibrato. This is kind of fun. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold up your coffin controller. I use it in my right hand. And now the way to customize this is you're going to lean a certain amount. This is a whole lot of vibrato. This is almost no vibrato. You're going to push the thumb button, and then whenever you get to the angle that you want, hit that function button. Now this is a pretty good amount of vibrato. That's probably a little bit more than I normally use. I'll normally do about, if I'm looking at it, it's about 11 o'clock. About like that. If you had a whole bunch, it'd be all the way to the side. And that's a full half step whenever you just lay it down. So you can actually use this to do like microtonal stuff. So if I wanted to do like a quarter tone flat C, I could do quarter tone sharp C, and then right on the regular C. So you can get very kind of weird sounding. That kind of stuff if you really want to. All right, so I'm going to set my my pitch vibrato about there. It's kind of normal for me. And then we're going to try tone vibrato. So what tone vibrato is, basically instead of changing the pitch when you do vibrato, it's going to make the tone change just a little bit. So kind of like a wah, 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 wah. A lot of instruments actually use this kind of vibrato, like a flute, for instance. Whenever you do vibrato on a flute, you don't get a whole lot of pitch change, but you do get a good bit of tone change. So it's ha ha, wah, 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 wah. All right, so we have to set this up. Back on the synthesizer, I'm going to look at this thing right here, the filter. I've kind of played around with it to make this, pretty sharp cutoff. And I'm going to have to set it. I'm going to have to learn the MIDI assignment. All right, in order to do this, back in your coffin controller, what you're going to do is you're going to turn the entire controller upside down. You can do it this way if you want to. So I'm going to turn the controller upside down. I'm going to hold the finger button there and then hit the function button. All right. Now I'm going to play a note. It's not going to make any difference, but I'm going to kind of move the controller around and then hit that learn MIDI assignment button. So I'm kind of moving it around. And there you go. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to choose a center. We're going to choose like a sound that we like a good bit in that range. So we're going to play a note. Yeah. I'm going to go about right there. All right, and then I'm going to do that same thing I did before. Hold this upside down, hit that button, hit the finger button, and then hit the function button. All right, and now we are out of the finding mode. And there's still no vibrato going on. There's still no tone vibrato. So we're going to do the same idea that we did before with the pitch vibrato, but I'm going to lean it, and then we do the top button and then the function button. So I'll do about right there, function, and now look back at the synthesizer. When I do vibrato, it doesn't just change the pitch, it also changes the tone. That's probably a little bit too much. I don't really like that. It's like wah, 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 wah. So I'm going to do it a little bit less, about there. I kind of like that better. And you can set it back to pretty much 0 if you get it just upright. So just a tiny little bit of, did too much. And then you can actually set this the other way, so where you go that way. And now it'll be vibrato the other way around. So instead of wah, 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 it'll be ah, wah, wah. And you can do a very extreme version of this, like laying it down like this. Set that pitch vibrato. So again, I'm going to set it about where I want it to sound. I'm going to do glide and volume, and then if I turn pitch vibrato mostly off, you can hear that's what vibrato sounds if it's just tone. I don't really like it just purely tone, so I do sort of a combination of the two. And again, you can do a pretty extreme version of this, so laying it down all the way, and then actually if I do the set mode, the setting mode, so let me do that again. Do it so you can just barely hear the sound. Get it out of tone set mode, and then I do an extreme version of this. You get this kind of interesting sound. So anyway, a lot of stuff you can play around with. All right, so anyway, like I said, and if you're not doing that MIDI assignment button like I had to do, it's CC value 73 for the tone. All right, I think that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions, and talk to you guys later. Thank you.